stream or roll up a pour up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, tap in, tap the fuck in. We'll be on. Hey, Mr. Roll Up. I'm on 1090 Jake Ez. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. Why you on 1090 Jake Ez, Mr. Roll Up? Hey, he came from one of the gangsters, man. The top gangster at that. So I gotta tap in, tap the fuck in. What he done did. He made a whole video about Larry Hoover, calling Larry Hoover a snitch. Here's the problem. When you a snitch, you can't call somebody a snitch. Tap in, tap the fuck in. I understand when you create content, you want to have the Top Gun content. You know, you want to be the first one with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what make your channel more prominent. But when it comes to a situation like this, men rules, you just don't break that as a man, sir. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Well, since this what dog doing, I'm spinning the block on him, and I'm calling his bluff because you can't call somebody a snitch when you a snitch. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Yeah, Mr. Roll Up can do that. Mr. Roll Up ain't never snitched on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, tap the fuck in. I'm about to break all this shit down for you, man, because bro came bogus, man. He a bogus motherfucker, you know. It is what it is. Tap in, tap the fuck in. All right, let's get this started. So, first off, D Jordan told me to come with the torch. I told him I got one. This is my torch, bro. Damn, I done dropped that bitch on some blow shit. But this the torch, bro. You know. So now it's time to fire that motherfucker up. You know what time it is. We about to fire this up. So I hope y'all got y'all blunts rolled. If not, get them rolled. Because I'm going in anyway. You know what I'm saying? Nah. First thing first. Before I get off into saying what I got to say about this guy, I'm going to let y'all see this first. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go from there. All right? Now, this is an interview that 1090 Jake did with DJ Vlad. This interview was from a year ago. It say 1090 Jake explains why his filing of a grievance in prison is not snitching. I'll go in after I let y'all hear this.
Go on with the story. So, what happens when you go to DI court? You can plead your case. You're always going to get found guilty. I get found guilty. When they give you the disciplinary report papers, it says the only way to appeal your finding, your guilty finding, is by filing a grievance. So I filed a grievance. Now I wrote in the grievance, these CEOs are trying to fuck with me. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. Set me up, beat me, whatever. I'm trying to get the fuck up out of here. The CEOs are lying on me. Just writing the grievance, asking for a grievance in prison, the CEOs are looking at you because they don't think it's about them. And it really is about them. You go through it with them. My grievance had really nothing to do.
Let me stop you right there real quick. Haley Lacey, what's the deal? Tap in, tap the fuck in. I'm stopping it right there real quick, right? First off, you don't file no grievance, you know what I'm saying, on a stabbing situation. You file grievances for like complaining. You know what I'm saying? You complaining, saying basically the police not doing their job, they not giving you tissue, blah, 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 blah. Grievance goes to the higher up people in the prison system. That's what a grievance is for. It goes to them. So that right there alone lets you know he's snitching. He just snitched in a diet type of way. You know what I'm saying?
With the situation, other than they lied in the situation. Nothing I wrote in the grievance could be used against another inmate because I named him in the shit. I was like, yeah, I got fired up. The shit happened right in front of the COs. Y'all watched them fire me up. They know what happened.
That's snitching right there. What you mean? You wrote in the grievance? Yeah, he fired me up. I got fired up. Blah blah blah. That's snitching, bro. Anytime you say anything against somebody, is snitching. So you ball right there. But all right, let's go. What up? Y'all know how them YouTube commercials be.
Man, what's up, everybody?
Shit.
Welcome back to it.
Damn, hold up. That's that blow shit, man. Hold up.
Time was that 14 to 20. Finding your grievance, asking for a grievance in prison. The COs are looking at you because they don't think it's about them, and it really is about them. You go through it with them. My grievance had really nothing to do with the situation other than they lied in the situation. Nothing I wrote in the grievance could be used against another inmate because I named him in the shit. I was like, yeah, I got fired up. This shit happened right in front of the COs. Y'all watched him fire me up. They know what happened. We already got found guilty for the shit. So nothing I said could be used against them. But they try to put it out there like I wrote a statement against him. That's what got him sent to confinement. This, that, and the third. So the internet went crazy. I requested all the paperwork because I didn't even know I could get grievances and all that. Come to find out, not only did he end up writing a grievance, he wrote a witness statement against me. So his witness...
Okay, so now you want to try and flip this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got caught up. So now you try and flip it, talking about, oh, he wrote a grievance on me, blah, blah, blah. How he write a grievance on you and he the one that stabbed you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, that don't work like that, bro. He said that the guy poked him up in front of the guards, right? So if the police seen this, how is it that the guy wrote a grievance on 1090J saying, oh yeah, we got into it, blah blah blah? Like, what? Like, you the one did the stabbing in front of the police. You don't have no argument. So how is it that the aggressor files a grievance? Come on, bro. I got a couple more seconds of it. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, and then I'm gonna flip off his shit.
Statement against me said me and him had a physical fight, which is the equivalent of what the COs were saying. So he already implicated me and him in this situation. Everything I wrote was just me. Because everyone, they're going to ask you, you want to write a statement? Yeah, I got fired up. Did you have a weapon? I did not have a weapon. Never mentioned anybody.
You heard what he just said. He said they asked him, do you want to write a statement? He tried to say it so quick, but he said it. Yeah, do you want to write a statement? That's what you did. You wrote a statement. And he said yes. You don't have to agree to that. No matter how many times you got stabbed up in front of the police, in front of whoever, about whatever, you do not have to make a statement. That's why they ask you, do you want to file a statement? That's why they ask you that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. There's nothing you have to do. So for him openly admitting that and saying that right there, that lets you know that he told. He just tried to clean that shit up. So, all right, now moving forward, right? Now he out here calling himself exposing people, right? For being a rat. But you a rat. How a rat gonna call somebody a rat? Rats is rats. Y'all all rat together. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to stand up out the crew and stand out. Hey, I might have told, but I didn't tell like that. But this guy told like this. Bro, telling is telling. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what you did. You went and ran your motherfucking mouth. You told, bro. And you sat up here and admitted it. Like I said, you talk so quick, you think people don't catch that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you sat up there and admitted it, your damn self. You said they asked you, do you want to write a statement? And you said, yeah, I got poked up, blah, 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 all of this shit. You did not have to do that. You could have been like, no, I don't want to write no statement. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. I didn't even know I was stabbed. I don't know anything. I didn't know I got beat up. I didn't know y'all was around. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was when I came outside, that was it. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? So that alone let you know, like, come on, bro. You bold. You know what I'm saying? Again, you don't have to say nothing. You don't got to say shit. Go ahead and take your L. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. Take your L. You know? And guess what? You're going to move right on along. You know what I'm saying? You're going to move right on along with the situation, whatever happened. You do not have to file a statement. You do not have to write a grievance. You know what I'm saying? Now, back to what I was saying with the whole grievance thing. Because I've been in prison, so I know exactly what a grievance is. You know what I'm saying? Again, a grievance is for complaints or like you need to take a class or something and they not letting you take the class. So you filing a grievance to the higher up people say, hey, I keep on telling them I need this class, but they won't give it to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what a grievance is. A grievance is a complaint. You know what I'm saying? And 9 out of 10, that complaint is against the police. Just what he said is usually about them. Yeah, it's usually about them because it's a complaint against them. A grievance is a complaint against the police. You know what I'm saying? A grievance is a way to get your word out there to somebody instead of having to deal with whatever the police is doing to you. You have a way to get your word out there. So the way how people threaten the police, they be like, yeah, I'm filing a grievance. I'm filing a grievance on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what inmates do in prison. They be like, oh, okay, you on that bullshit. You won't help me out. You keep locking me in my cell all day. Blah, blah, blah. You always fucking with me. You giving me tickets for no reason. You always bothering me. You always shaking my cell down. Blah, 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 blah. Shit like that. That's when you say, yeah, I'm filing a grievance on you because it's a complaint against the system. That's what filing a grievance is. It's a complaint against the system. So you sitting up here saying they asked you, did you want to file a grievance on being stabbed in prison? That's a lie, bro. They don't have you file no grievance when you get stabbed. You know what I'm saying? It's straight to the point. Hey, you want to write this statement? You know what I'm saying? You want to file a statement against them? Blah, 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 blah. It's either yes or no. It's either you say yes, I do want to write a statement, and then boom, you wrote a whole statement because you trying to prosecute whoever that is that did something to you. You know what I'm saying? Or you can handle it like a gangster, like you supposed to, and say, nah, I ain't filing no statement. I don't know what happened. And the police just got right with it. All right, whatever. He said he ain't filing no statement. You know, he clearly been stabbed. We know he been stabbed, but he not filing no statement. So whatever is whatever. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, dude gonna beat that case because the guy not snitching on him. That's how that shit work. But if you write a statement, you told on him. You get him prosecuted. You told on him. So for that one, 1090 Jake, I had to cook you on that one because you know what I'm saying. That wasn't right at all, bro. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be coming like that. You know, us as men, we know not to even play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of that's street rules. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of street rules, man. We don't do that to each other. You know, street rules. We got two rules in the streets. You know, well, main rules. You know what I'm saying? Main rules is you don't call a man a snitch or a fag unless you know this 100%. You know what I'm saying? You never put either one of them allegations on a man. You don't gotta like him. You could think he a bitch or hoe. You can say fuck that weak ass nigga, blah blah blah. You can say whatever you want about him, but you can't call him a fag or a snitch, bro, unless you know 100% for sure. And that's where 1090 Jake went wrong at. He didn't do his full research on this situation. He just went off a police report he seen that popped up from the 60s or 70s, back in that time. You know how corrupt their system was back then? We got people like Antoine Massey talking about how corrupt Louisiana is right now in 2024. Do you know how corrupt the system was back in the 60s, 70s, when racism was really real? You know what I'm saying? And they knew that Hoover was a leader of his crew. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Hoover all the way in the clear, but you know, for what they saying is that this was a police report and I seen it. You know what I'm saying? It was in black and white. So Hoover didn't write that. You know what I'm saying? Like the cops wrote that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what cops do most of the time. They the ones that write the statements. So you really can't really tell, you know what I'm saying, like on some real shit. You can't really tell if that statement is real unless you got video of the interrogation room. You know what I'm saying? Like when the shit happened and the police brought the guy into the interrogation room and then he got to tell it from there. And they got it on video in the interrogation room. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they really don't have no proof that this person said this. You know what I'm saying? In the interrogation room, the police can make up whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's always better when a guy do come out and say what it is happened and how it happened. That would seal their deal. But if a cop want to throw a monkey wrench in the game, he can. That's his paperwork that he filing. He is the arresting officer. He can say and do whatever the fuck he want. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's highly possible that that statement, was altered by the police. Who knows? Because of this right here. I'm only gonna say that to say this. So I want y'all to check this video out real quick, right? This is from Truth Teller. You know what I'm saying? He come with his own info about this whole Hoover situation. And I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback off that. So y'all can listen to this.
The guy who shot him actually did videos talking about this a little while ago. He not happy that he did that. He said, he was in a different time in his life. Shooting a teenage boy who turned out to be a real leader, a strong mindset in Chicago, a man of power that people kind of looked at. He kind of feel bad that he did that shit. He called this shit like the Hall of Shame. That's not a moment that he like telling people about. He spoke on that a couple years ago and shit like that.
Before we get into that, Dad, let's just go ahead and confront the actual, your claim to fame of the allegations of shooting Larry Hoover. What do you have to say about that, your claim to fame?
Let me say that. This man think that my claim to shame is to shoot a young 18-year-old Larry Hoover when I was 18 years old. Brother, you vastly mistaken. That's my claim to shame. I shot a guy who turned out to be one of the most hell of dudes in this city. And let's go to that. We so much into trying to destroy one another that
he actually just spoke out again.
All right, so I wanted y'all to see that because I wanted y'all to see the actual person. You know what I'm saying? That's the actual dude that shot Larry Hoover back in the day, which is why 1090J trying to say this is who he told on. This is the same person that said that Larry Hoover told on this guy. And he out here speaking of himself. And he 70, 80 years old, just like Hoover is. You know what I'm saying? And he's speaking up for himself, saying this. Now, I want y'all
what if there's
to
space
see
between beginnings and endings?
this message right here. You know what I'm saying? This is a message that he left on the internet. The guy that shot Hoover. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Hold up. See, this is my daughter's phone. Her shit be flopping out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But hold up.
Paperwork came out on Larry, grown older men who I don't believe want to stand on the corner and guide young people into violence anymore. You know, so I think if it is laws to get him home, I think it's time for people to really look into bringing Larry Hoover home. You know, on some real shit. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, know it's homie Drew.
That's the paperwork they said that Hoover made. This is the message. This is the message that the guy that shot Larry Hoover, this is what he said. He said, he never snitched on me. In fact, it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen the way they described it. None of it. I refuse to rehitch something that went up. Anyway, the man himself said that Hoover didn't snitch on him. See, this is exactly why you don't put allegations like that on a man until you know 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because now 1090J pretty much got his foot in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the police paperwork. This is coming from the horse's mouth. This man is 78 years old. He don't got no reason to lie for Hoover reputation or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? These men is on their way to transition out. You know what I'm saying? Not taking them from them or nothing like that. I'm just saying they didn't live most of their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what they got to lie for at this point? Who they lying to? A bunch of people that don't know them? You know what I'm saying? So for the man himself to say that Hoover didn't tell on him and it didn't happen the way that they described it at all, that right there go to show you that, again, all of that police paperwork don't necessarily mean that this is what somebody said. Sometimes they be throwing monkey wrenches in there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But my whole thing is this, right? 1090J trying to call somebody a snitch, but he a snitch. Where in the business was that acceptable? Like, come on, man. If you a rat, you roll with the rats. What is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I just had to cut in and pop my shit on that because you can't be out here calling somebody a rat and you a rat. You know what I'm saying? I would have respected it more if he would have came with all the facts first and then made a complete video about it. But to try and just come with this, oh yeah, he told because this what this police report said. Well, what about your police report that you made in prison? You know what I'm saying? You made a police report in prison. You filed a grievance on a stabbing that happened to you. Grievances are for complaints, not stabbings. That's a crime. Grievances are not for crimes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you bogus. And you said it yourself in your interview with DJ Vlad. You said it yourself. They asked you, did you want to write a statement? And you said, yeah, you wrote a statement. You told. Right there. That's that. You told, man. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole thing about the situation. It's like, come on, man. and now you put yourself in hot water. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think like this whole GD Nation is bigger than Larry Hoover. You know what I'm saying? This is a movement all across the world, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's GDs, BDs all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like it's disciples, man. A lot of people can relate to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why there's so many people that claim that shit, state to state, everywhere. You know, and the same thing with other gangs as well. You know, but we speaking on the GDs. You know what I'm saying? And then you try and talk about the founder of this shit. It's like now you putting yourself on the platter. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's GDs all around. You never know. Somebody might want to hit your ass now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That just wasn't no smart move. So I just felt like he threw that out there real quick, try and get views and shit like that, on some content creating shit, but he went about it the wrong way with the wrong type of person because again, this bigger than Hoover, you know. It's a whole nation of people behind this shit. So you never know where that back door can come from. You know what I'm saying? Like GDs is a prominent movement all across the country. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the truth and reality. If you really go by the growth and development rules, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of guys that's not under that. They under the whole Gangster Disciple Act, Gangster Disciple Act. And honestly, GD wasn't even about Gangster Disciple. That's something that just came about later on in the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference with this shit. You feel me? And like I said, you got guys on both sides. You got guys on growth and development, and you got guys on gangster disciple time. You know what I'm saying? Again, you never know where that back door can come from. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole motherfucking worldwide nation of people that could hit your ass at any given moment, for just disrespecting their nation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you doing your homework, you've been in prison. You know how this shit works. You know that you can't just go around saying somebody snitch because just like how it's played in the streets, you don't call a man a snitch or a fag. It's the same thing in prison. You don't call a man a snitch or a fag unless you know. And Jake noticed. Low key, that's probably why he got stabbed in the first place. He probably was in there telling on some shit, and then he got poked up. Boop, boop, boop. And what he do? Went and filed a grievance about this situation. He trying to play it as, oh, I didn't say his name, blah, blah, blah. Like, it don't matter. You still made a statement. You said that you were stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. You made a statement. You didn't have to say nothing. You didn't have to. But you did. So what does that tell us? You're a snitch. You know what I'm saying? So please hold that hill, 1090J. Get off Hoover back, because you tweaking. The man that shot him stepped up and said, nah, he didn't do it. That ain't what happened. That was some made up shit. That's not what happened. So you take your own foot out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because you choked on that one. Straight up. Don't nothing beat the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? And again, them older men, they don't gotta lie about shit. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they would be happy to talk about some snitching shit. Like, damn, you know what? He did do that 50, 60 years ago. That was when we were young kids. Things like that. That'd be one thing. But to get up there and lie at 70 years old, talking about, nah, he didn't do it, man. But he really did tell on you, and you sitting up there lying about it at 70 years old. Come on, man. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that what old school said. He said that ain't what happened. What they described wasn't it at all. You know what I'm saying? That shit was made up. And I totally believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. What the fuck you got to lie for? If anything, this would be his time to capitalize off Larry Hoover. If he gonna lie on him, you know what I'm saying? This would be his time to capitalize. While Larry Hoover is being talked about right now, this would be his time to capitalize. Like, yeah, he did snitch on him back in the day. Woo woo. Take all Hoover strikes before he could even hit the streets. But that's not what happened. He said that situation didn't happen and it wasn't nothing like they described it. Flat out. So, what you going with? You going with the horse's mouth or what the police say? The police wasn't there. That's why they needed a statement. You know what I'm saying? So-called statement. They wasn't there. Hoover and the dude was there. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Cut it out. You calling somebody a snitch and you didn't do all your homework. So guess what? You got exposed for snitching. You was running your mouth too much and you told on yourself. They asked me, did I want to write a statement? I did. You snitched.